More Nigerians will become poor by 2027, World Bank says. Is it not what they want? After they have been pushing both Buhari and now Tinubu to devalue the Naira, to do this, to do that. Okay, now they have done it now and there is one hardship. They are now predicting, giving a prophecy of doom that more Nigerians will become poor by 2027. So what do we do now? These Westerners here, they are just, well, I don't blame them. It's the Africans that are listening to them. If not, we have no business with them. The World Bank has projected that poverty will increase in Nigeria by 3%, points in 5 years to 2027. The World Bank made this projection in its African Pulse report released on the sidelines of the ongoing spring meetings of the IMF and the World Bank in Washington, D.C. Can you imagine what they're saying? The report, among other information, painted a dead picture of poverty in Nigeria, noting that while economic activity has shown some positive signs, the underlying challenges associated with resource dependency and fragility are projected to escalate poverty levels, demanding focused and effective governance reforms and exclusive economic policies. Tell them now, make them devalue the Naira more, because that is what the World Bank and IMF knows to tell Nigerians. The report noted that while Nigerians saw higher than expected economic growth in the final quarter of 2024, particularly in its non-oil sector, the country's status as a resource-rich and fragile nation means it faces a concerning outlook for poverty reduction. So the report indicates that poverty rates in resource-rich fragile countries, including Nigeria, are expected to increase by 3.6 percentage points between 2022 and 2027, making it the only country or the only group in sub-Saharan Africa with projected rise in poverty. So the report stated sub-Saharan Africa has the highest extreme poverty rate globally, and a large share of the poor is concentrated in a few countries. About 80% of the world's estimated 695 million extreme poor resided in sub-Saharan Africa in 2024, compared to 8% in South Asia, 2% in East Asia and the Pacific, 5% in the Middle East and the North Africa, and then 3% in Latin America and the Caribbean within sub-Saharan Africa. Okay, half of the 560 million extreme poor in 2024 resided in 4 countries. Non-resource-rich countries are expected to continue reducing poverty faster than resource-rich countries. That's thanks to higher prices of agricultural commodities. Non-resource-rich countries will be higher growth overall, despite fiscal pressures. Conversely, resource-rich countries are not expected to grow at the same rate, given decelerating oil prices. So as a result, resource-rich countries are expected to see less progress in terms of poverty reduction. Importantly, poverty in resource-rich fragile countries, which include large countries like the Democratic Republic of Congo and Nigeria, is expected to increase by 3.6 percentage points over 2022 to 2027, being the only group in the region with increasing poverty rates. Can you imagine? So how would that help us? How would that help us? Prophets of doom. So this follows a well-established pattern. Resource wealth combined with fragility or conflict is associated with the highest poverty rates. An average poverty rate of 46% in 2024, 13 percentage points above normal fragile or non-fragile resource-rich countries. Meanwhile, non-resource-rich countries, non-fragile countries, saw the biggest gains in poverty reduction since year 2000 and fully closed the gap in poverty with other non-resource-rich countries by 2010. Consequently, the report suggests that for resource-rich countries like Nigeria, improving fiscal management and developing a stronger fiscal contract with citizens is crucial. Look at what I say. Tell them that stealing our money, corruption, let corruption stop. And let them stop feeding the West with our resources. That is what you say. Countries like Burkina Faso are making very great progress. South Africa is making progress. Namibia is making progress. Senegal, Congo, they are making progress. It's only Nigeria, because Nigeria has refused to break away from the grip of the West. And now we have people that are now or leaders that are stooges in the African countries just for the West. So don't tell us anything. Let me see what people say in the comment section. Okay, somebody said that's the scorecard of the IMF for the Tinubu's APC-led federal government to make Nigeria poorer. Exactly. Pauperize and dehumanized as it were. Yet INEC will unashamedly declare T-Pain as the winner in the 2027 elections, and the Nigerian Judiciary Supreme Court will confirm his legitimacy. Of course. The same World Bank applauding the economic miracle the competent team of this administration has been doing has finally told this federal government that it has failed woefully. Too bad. They are the same. Any country without creativity must be poor. Dashing money to people increase poverty. The Gaban that transformed Lagos State, APC, the name problem of Nigeria, make una ear open very well. Oh. Nothing. These people are there to do the bid of the West. I don't say we reject that in Jesus' name. World Bank thrives on countries being poor so that they easily penetrate them for credit. The more you borrow from World Bank, the better for them. And I'm not waiting I want. Your government will go there and partner with them. So that is it. Tinubu lack every capacity to solve Nigerian economic woes. Watch the Nigerian economy that Tinubu is only engaged in dirty politics. Exactly. Even as a president. Okay? Columbo to accept a sitting governor of opposition party to defect to him, APC, is indication that Tinubu is engaged in dirty politics, and Nigerians and the electorates must see Tinubu as man who has nothing to offer but only selfish to destabilize other agencies. Exactly. This government has nothing to offer Nigerians. So thank you for listening, and let's have your comment as World Bank has predicted poverty for Nigeria by 2027.